It is 4:21 a.m. and I have a little confession. I'm telling you in strict confidence what it is, in the hope of redemptive absolution. At 7:30 p.m. last night, instead of working on my story for today, I was spending time at his request with my grandson Matthew and his girlfriend Juliet, whom I was meeting personally for the first time. Aware of my accustomed program on a Sunday evening, Matt asked what the topic was, and when I explained it was, quote, my hidden talent, they both smiled. For someone as young as you are, Grandpa, he explained, who has covered so much ground and done a multitude of things, you are on easy street. The story will come from looking back at the things you mostly felt obligated to do and at the same time made you happy while getting them done. And then what? I retorted. And then, Grandpa, you will see what and how all this came about. That is the method, good and true, for bringing your hidden talents into view. There's one special moment, with emphasis on special, I said, that shall forever be a cherished memory for me. And the occasion was in the summer of 1983, when, as chairman of Special Olympics, I accompanied the Jamaica contingent of special athletes to the Olympic Games in Baton Rouge. About 2 years before that, they asked me to accept the position and assembled for me the most remarkable team of volunteer patriots I've ever seen. We re-energized the movement, made an appeal to other organizations in the private sector, persuaded service clubs like the Kiwanis to help us mobilize, support, and raise funds to place the movement on the map. And we organized support staff for the athletes, trained and selected the best through local trials, and took a group of 50 with coaches and supervision for a 2-week unforgettable extravaganza on the most hospitable campus, the Louisiana University. Jamaica did well, and I felt good when ordinary folk wrote to our Prime Minister to make it known that his representatives to Baton Rouge were the greatest ambassadors of Jamaica. Matthew broke his silence and reacted to the story he might have heard before, but with a new detail added. His father, who as he calculated was about 12 years old at the time, enjoyed all the privileges of the family's VIP pass, such as a meeting with American TV personalities, a special feature of these Kennedy-organized spectaculars, but without any of the mundane responsibilities. Didn't you feel good about your talent in leading the whole team so successfully, Grandpa? Matthew pointedly asked. I'm sure I still do, I replied. And what was even more surprising is that on the basis of my performance and that of my team of fellow directors, I was given a special award by the sporting authorities for management and skills and humanity I displayed. That's because we had carried out my sacred mission of doing good for those that need a helping hand, and for bringing joy to those who needed to be lifted up from the challenges of their physical, mental, and economic condition. To top it all, one of my board members, a well-known soccer player, Ali McNabb, who inspired the special athletes and in turn was a source of encouragement to me, was years later called upon to serve as chairman. I could not have been more delighted. He had, when we were on the same team, produced miraculously and voluntarily a documentary about the uplifting progress Special Olympics had made under my guidance. And in it he described my leadership as firm but fair. You both would be pleased to know. Matthew assumed a serious countenance and posed the following thoughtful question. But Grandpa, don't you think there was something deep inside of you that gave you the guts, the wisdom, and the courage to carry out your assignments so well? Do you mean my volunteer spirit? My belief that we are placed on this earth with better opportunities than others so that we can do what's right by giving others a chance to do as well as their talents will take them, to give them a helping hand to find their strength and experience their own satisfaction and make their own individual contribution. Not only that, Grandpa, you once told me about our ancestry and the evidence that we have traits in us which give us an added boost to our efforts. But these attributes are often deep down and hidden away.
We also have the Val version of the SNP. SNP is a gene, which means that we typically perform better under stress. It is called the warrior gene, as in a warrior in a war, basically. So we have the warrior gene, helps you to perform better under challenges, and it breaks down dopamine in the frontal cortex a lot easier. And then when that happens, you're able to, in fight or flight situations, you're able to calm yourself, rationalize, reason, come up with solutions to challenges, and move forward.
You're absolutely correct, Matthew. I believe we have had this conversation before. And Juliet is smiling, so I know you told her about your ancestors from all over the globe. Did you tell her that the Gordon genetic profile as a trait inherited from our Germanic ancestors of blue eyes? She's nodding her head. I know that was curious and frivolous. However, much it is true. But I must share with you that experts looking specifically into the Gordon genes and comparing that with the genes of the natural mummy of a man who lived 3,350 to 3,105 BC, called Otzi the Iceman, show that we are family. I think the idea of traits also applies to aspects of ourselves that are hidden from us, in that we can't see the physical evidence, but the wisdom gained from ancient experiences is portrayed in us as part of our otherwise unexplained, quote, hidden skills and abilities. You mean it's like what genealogists say about my ideal body type genes that are peculiarly helpful to my soccer physique? Matthew asked. Not only that, Matthew, but with the higher dopamine, we have enabled successful cognitive control in the prefrontal cortex. Dopamine receptors control 3 aspects of cognitive control: gating, maintaining, and relaying. The dopamine we have in abundance is believed to play important functions in our body, mainly those that deal with mental function, emotional response, and physical reactions. It is colloquially known, and your dad and I exhibit this quality, as a chemical that makes you happy. And it primarily does this in ways that involve reward and motivation. A quote from the National Institute of Health, speaking about enhanced hippocampus, states that our results show that root formation during spatial learning in goal-directed behavior was associated with enhanced hippocampus. Based on the nefarious obstacles to success that beset those who aspire to leadership, I am also sure that there are traits in my genes that when I am faced with a challenge, imbue me with calm, analytical incisiveness and positivity, which enables me to pursue the strategic objective in ways I never studied or am even consciously aware of. So, grandson, there is reason to believe that under that mop of curly hair, you have a fantastic hippocampus awaiting awakening. Stop. Make sure you engage it before you lunge into action on or off the field. For you, the process should be natural because it's in your genetic makeup, and the turnaround time should be measured in nanoseconds. So the training, the education, and the learned skills are the outward manifestation of the talents we possess. But the secret ingredients is derived from our ancestral genes. That's amazing, because I only got confirmation of this in February of this year, when I participated in a Zoom family conference with an expert researcher on our family. I understand better, Matthew said, from this brief rehearsal of your presentation, preparing you for tomorrow morning. You'll probably be glad you had this conversation about your hidden sports management talent, which is tried, tested, and was mysteriously informed by compassion, reason, spatial fortitude, but absent the learned, going to school, business qualifications on your resume. Yes, Matthew, these high-tech chips, to coin a modern phrase, are hidden away, awaiting discovery. Just like Otzi the Iceman, the frozen mummy to whom we are related. Even though Otzi died 53 centuries ago, we found him to be pleasant, possibly a farmer, a bit gruff, with an Ice Age sense of humor. I can't say whether his forte was sports management or whether he even loved sports. Did he play darts in a pub 3,200 meters above sea level on the Tyrolean Alps between Italy and Austria? The family cannot say. That he died from an arrow in his back is our only clue.